Okay, we were saying that we are starting today with this beautiful text of that is taken from the book The Breath of the Absolute from Mush. And the title is Delusion of Consciousness. What is delusion? Delusion is engaño, sería. This is the translation of delusion is the opposite of something that is true or is of that or it is real. And now when we read the text, we are going to discover why this word is used here, because it's something strange, because consciousness, you know that in the text it is used with a capital letter. So consciousness means what is real. So if you use the word delusion of consciousness, consciousness is real, is our real self. But sometimes consciousness identifies with what is not. Let's read and we'll see the meaning. Okay. Do you want to start?
Yes. Control is an obsession of consciousness when it identifies. Identification with the body makes the consciousness feel vulnerable. It knows that the body is impermanent, that it can be injured and is subject to pain, sickness, and aging.
Okay, let's stop here a bit. Control is an obsession of consciousness when it identifies. So, what it says that, what does this phrase mean? That consciousness wants to be, when it identifies with the body, it feels vulnerable, and the body is not what we really are. So when consciousness identifies with the body, it wants to take control of the things. Okay. And what happens also? That this identification makes the consciousness feel vulnerable, because what? If you think or you feel that you are your body only, what happens? You begin to feel vulnerable, because you feel you are the body, and the body is impermanent. It can be injured and is subject to pain, sickness, and aging. Aging, impermanent is what is a synonym of impermanent? We can say it's temporary or transient. Temporary or transient. These are synonyms of impermanent. Transient. Okay. And it can be injured and is subject to pain, sickness, and aging. And aging is another word of many words in English that can be used as a verb or as a noun, because you know that we are used to use it as a noun. What is your age? Age. I can say, well, I am 56. Is my age, a noun. But it also can be used as a verb to say we age. As in Spanish we say envejecer. Entonces, as we age, for example, we tend to to no sé, to what are I think that we tend to to do when we age, as we age, or people. No sé. I am something. For example, I was thinking, yes, as I age, my habit has changed. For instance, I'm not so used to stay late at night as I used to be, or to go out at night. To go out, or many habits like dancing, or other things that I used to do when I was younger. Okay. Well, this is so age can be used as a verb or as a noun. Okay. So let's go on.
Okay. Therefore, in identifying as the body, consciousness also feels that it can be harmed or die.
Okay, harm. This is another word that is a synonym of a word that he used before. Of
injured.
Injured. Very good. And the pronunciation of is identifying. To identify. Identification. Okay.
Okay.
So let's go on.
Furthermore, when consciousness identifies with mind, a transfer of responsibility seems to occur. What is naturally being taken care of by consciousness, for example, the body's welfare, comfort, actions, and situation, now feels to be the duty for the limited mind to carry out all by itself.
Okay. This is related to what we were talking about. That consciousness, when consciousness identifies with mind, a transfer of responsibility seems to occur. That we think that we have to do everything by ourselves. So what is natural being taken care of by consciousness, for example, the body welfare, comfort, action, situations, now feels to be the duty for the limited mind to carry out by itself. We think that it is our responsibility. It is true, we have to take care of ourselves, of our job, of our everything. But we are not the only responsible for it. We have to do our part. But there is a higher intelligence, or the consciousness with a capital letter, that takes care of everything. So we have to do our part and let life take care of life, as Mushi says. And here we have a verb that is very, very usual in English, and is the verb to carry out. Carry out means what? To do, to perform, to complete a task, a duty or plan, especially something that has been planned or ordered. It's a very, in Spanish, they use it a lot in English, but in Spanish it sounds a bit formal, viste, como es el típico llevar a cabo. The police carried out an investigation. The workers carried out their boss instructions carefully. Carried out. Okay. So, and I love the way in which he explains what we experienced when we identified with all this, and we begin to feel this, that it is only our duty to take care of ourselves. What happens? This is how consciousness go on.
This is how consciousness ends up experiencing guilt, shame, remorse, and anxiety.
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 These are all negative emotions: guilt,
Yes.
shame, remorse, and anxiety. And why all this happens? Because as we think that we are the only ones responsible for our actions or for achieving things, for instance, in your case, to have a good job or the best job a job that you deserve. If you can't get this kind of job, you begin to feel guilty sometimes, or begin to feel shame or anxiety because you think, oh, I am not capable of having a good job. What happens? No, it is not your responsibility. It is not all your responsibility. You are doing your part. What is your part? Looking for a job, and it's the job you find. Now, well, we need an other power, and sometimes these kind of things or situations are for this, have this purpose, to show us that we don't have to do things only by our own. That if we trust, things happen we need the hand of God for some things. And it is the opportunity God has to show you this. Para eso suceden esas cosas, nada más. And that's why they are temporary and transient. Okay, so go on.
It worries about doing the wrong thing, fears making a bad choice or losing something that allies this constant underlying anxiety of vulnerability, or fantasies about something that will
alleviate it. Yeah,
alleviate it.
There are many new words here because they are kind of formal words. Yes. Allies, that allies these contents. Allies means it has this meaning also. It's a synonym of relief or alleviate. Here we have the meaning. Ally is a beautiful and rather formal English verb. The meaning is, ally means to reduce, to calm, or to make something, especially a negative feeling, less strong, like fear, pain, or worry. So when you ally anxiety, fear, or suspicion, you make it weaker or less intense. Sería como aliviar el sufrimiento. O bueno, el dolor, o ves que dice, all with negative emotions, fear, worry. To make, for example, ally as a verb, it is the same as to make fear, worry, or pain less strong. And synonyms of ally may be to calm, to ease, to relieve, to reduce, or to soothe. Soothe is another very beautiful word, and is usually used as an adjective. And for instance, you can say soothing words. Soothing words, her soothing words make me feel better, for example. es cuando alguien, son palabras reconfortantes, algo que te ayuda, que te hace bien, digamos. Entonces, soothing, to soothe, and also English has this thing of the sound. When you say soothe, es como que ya es como una caricia, ¿viste? Soothe, soothing. Wow. Like, this is the meaning of soothing, soothing words. Okay, so ally, that's why it says that it is a beautiful word, because it means, viste que veníamos hablando mucho de about negative emotions, anxiety, fear, remorse, guilt, pain, remorse, shame, are all negative emotions or feelings. And well, ally and ease and relief and soothe are the opposite, are positive. Okay, so, and here you have the common collocations. O sea, ¿con qué se usa ally? With this, con las negative emotions, para decir eso, aliviar. Por eso tiene esa connotación de aliviar. Fear, anxiety, concerns, and doubts. Okay. So, where were you? Here.
The mind's perception of life is wound around battling these bodily factors. And as long as the consciousness is identified, it, too, appears immersed in this struggle.
Okay, I like this text because it has many words and many synonyms.
Yes.
For instance, here there is another word, wound. Wound is a word that is related to injured or to be harmed, una herida. Okay, so the mind's perception of life is wound around, está como, claro, around battling these bodily factors. Está como, tiene que ver con esta herida que lo que hace es hacernos pelear o batallar, ¿ves? Con todos estos factores que tienen que ver with what? With the body, the factors that has to do with the body. And that's why we start to be immersed in a kind of struggle. We come to that we have to fight a lot, or to make a lot of effort to get a new job, to achieve things in life. So let's read this last phrase that is perfect. You, the consciousness, go on.
Need this body to continue tasting and experiencing, but it's not necessary to identify with it.
Okay, we need this body. Of course, we need this body to taste and to experience, but it is not necessary to identify. That's why Mushi said that this body we have is like a costume. Es como un trajecito that we have to experience life, and that we are like characters in a movie, that we don't have to believe our character. It's only a role that we are playing. Okay, so we can go on a bit more and then we'll stop for this session. So we have a little time to do a very brief meditation that is also necessary to discover what we really are. So let's go on a bit more.
Without identification, the body will still be there, and this obsession will control and this obsession with control will fade. The body is completely innocent in all of this. By divine decree, its they are doing its work. The body doesn't know it's you. Something inside is constantly holding the body as me and giving a name to it.
Yes. So without identification, the body will still be there. And this obsession with control will fade. This is another word. Fade means to become less stronger or to diminish. Desvanecerse, como que se va a ir haciendo menos fuerte, menos poderoso. The body is completely innocent of all this. By divine decree, it's there doing its work. The body doesn't know it's you. Something inside is constantly holding the body as me and giving name to it. And this, what says the other phrase that goes below, it's very important because it says the mind must have something. I like with the way it reveals the mechanisms of the mind, because it says the mind must have something to threaten you with, to hold you hostage. What is to hold you hostage? Para tenerte de rehén, to have you trapped or caught. There must be something you want or don't want for the mind to get you to listen to its false warnings, such as, if you don't do this, something unpleasant is going to happen. More often than not, there is the fear of change because the mind imagines what that it doesn't know or has not projected is going to be negative. Yes, and this happens to us, that we are afraid of change because as we don't know what will happen, or a change means that you have to do something different from you, what you have been doing up to now or so far. For instance, you are, when you have a new job, sometimes you are a bit afraid because you don't know how the new job will be. So this uncertainty makes you feel fear. And these are all mechanisms of the mind, because we are used to think or to project that this that we don't know will be negative. And no, we don't know. Viste que siempre uno como que tiende a pensar que, qué sé yo, que va a haber algo negativo porque no sabe, pero we don't know. These are mechanisms of the mind. Okay, well, today we finish here and we go on with this text next class. But it is, I like it. I like this kind of reflection that makes us realize, or at least beginning to observe, the mechanisms of the mind, or how, what is identification with our body or with our personal identity. There must be something that is beyond all this, and we have to discover what is. And that's why we at least try to practice a bit, we can begin to discover what we really are when we try to make a space between this identification with our thoughts and at least try for some minutes to remain silent and to remain, to focus on our heart or to focus within. So let's try to at least listen to the famous exercise of Mushi Chas B and try to stay in silence and with ourselves just for some minutes. I will share the screen. And well, we'll try to follow these instructions just for some minutes and try to not to follow our thoughts, just for some minutes and be in silence and see what happens. Try to experience the peace we are. Okay, so here
states come and go. Notice awareness itself unmoving. For those who are present who are not used to this, we simply exercise most beautiful, profoundly impactful exercise in introducing or pulling us out of the chaos of the mental noise of personhood into the purity of being. We have the attitude of leaving everything and to keep the attention only in the sense, the natural sense that you exist, that you are here. No shape to that, just here, the sense of here-ness, and to make a conscious choice not to engage or to be pulled into your mind stream, to just be aware of it, don't fight it, but stay empty consciously. We'll start with that. I'll give some guidance along the way. If you hear this sound, it's just, it means all just what I've said. Drop everything. Stay empty. Thank you. We do 7 more minutes. Om. Om. Now all the conversations, questions and answers are finished. Leave all that. Don't be holding on to anything now. The natural sense of being is not a thought process. Just the natural sense of being. Stay here. Conscious. The mind energy will come, of course, but don't engage with that. That is a key to not be pulled into the mind stream. Don't log into its energy. Be aware of it, but be aware that you are aware. That's it. Stay with this. Oh. From the mind will suggest certain images or thoughts. Don't get, you must will that to stay only empty. like an empty room in which things come and go, but the room is not disturbed. Om. Clear. For some of you, images will come. Don't fight. Stay like empty screen. Images may come from mind, sound, thought, but let them move by themselves. You are the awareness, edgeless, formless presence. You may feel the feeling to go to sleep, but it's not true sleep. It's a kind of avoidance from mind, so reject that. Try to stay only empty, but conscious. Choose this. There are no images of being. So even if I say like clear space, mind will want to give a subtle image of space. Beingness is natural for you. Remain empty. Do not be attracted to either pleasure or pain. No shape, only awareness. Feel the mind. Do not engage. Clear. Do not go into any state. Stateless awareness. Even if pleasant sensations or pictures come, reject them. No memories. No desires. Only aware. For some, it may feel very difficult to do this, but grace is with you today, supporting this. This bringing mind back to its source. No journeys, no strategies, only stay awake, aware. No pictures, no scenarios. Oh.
Okay. It's very useful to be in silence. It's soothing. And it's also useful to begin to observe, how the mind operates and how it is true that we are so easily engaged with thoughts. But this brief instance that we can succeed, that we succeed in staying just here and not engaging, are beautiful when we can calm our mind and just be here. So we have to go for it and to practice a bit more, at least briefly, just some minutes. It's a good thing we can do for ourselves. Well, my friend, thank you.
Thank you.
Sharing and for this beautiful meeting that is useful for both of us. both of us practice and also we practice English. We practice talking in English and speaking English and also reflect. Well, see you next week. So remember that I will write on the group, but this Saturday we are not having class. We'll resume next week.
Okay.
Well, bye-bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.